Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, via Zoom is
Sesame and Carta.
Sesame and Carta. You're sticking with that, huh?
Yep, okay. Yes I am.
Sesame and Carta. I'm just going to call you Matthew Haas, if that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you need to do, so...
I mean, yeah. I'll just, call you that, because I'm used to it. But, if you want to be fine. Sesame and Carta, that's fine. So...
How tolerant of you.
Yes, I'm very tolerant. Of your name.
Yeah.
Yes. So, here's a story, Matt. Sesame, I mean. Of a man named Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a lady.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like 6 kids, okay? There's 3 boys and there's 3 girls. And they formed this big group of people, like a bunch. And their name is Brady. So, anyways,
good theme song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today on the show, in our Frosty Failures segment, or series, I should say, we are covering the 1988 film, made-for-TV movie, A Very Brady Christmas.
Yes.
Yes. It was directed by Peter Baldwin. It was written by Sherwood Schwartz and Lloyd J. Schwartz, who are a father and son. Sherwood Schwartz is, of course, the creator of The Brady Bunch. And it stars most of the original cast, with the exception of Susan Olsen, who, according to the media at the time, was on her honeymoon, so she couldn't be in the movie. But it turned out that, in reality, they were offering her, like, nothing to do the movie.
Oh wow.
like very little money. So she just basically said "fuck you" to them. Um, so
Which character does Susan Olsen play?
Cindy.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't all right.
No, that wasn't the original Cindy.
Oh, okay.
That was Cindy in this movie is played by Jennifer Runyon, who people may know as Gwendolyn Pierce from the first season of Charles in Charge.
Maybe that's why she looked familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else has she been in?
She was also in Ghostbusters.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's been in many other things, but those are the two most popular, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she was decent in the role, so it was fine, you know. But they, the studio, Paramount said that they would fund the film if they could get 5 of the 6 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't need the whole bunch, just 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, it was the highest rated television film of the 1988 season.
Wow.
That's
That's
actually,
interesting.
it was, and then it ended up finishing second, though. But it was the second highest rated, I guess I should say.
Okay.
Yeah, but still.
So, when did the Brady Bunch TV show? What year did that end?
That ended like 14 years prior.
Okay, and this takes place 12 years though. So timeline wise, it takes place 12 years after the show.
Is that what they said?
Well, Cindy said she hasn't had curls in her hair for 12 years, so maybe she had them for another 2 years before that.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because it seemed timeline-wise that, like, they seemed a lot older, more than just 14 years. Like,
yeah.
I'm thinking at least 20 at the very least, because I know back in the day, people used to start their lives and have families earlier because, you know, the economy was doing better and it's not like the complete shit show that it is now. But anyway, I digress. So people tended to, like, you know, start careers, you know, at like an appropriate age and have children at an appropriate age, not have to wait to the like 65 to do so. But even then, I'm like, that still seems a little bit soon because like some of these kids were not like babies, like they were like already like, you know, kids. Like, and I'm thinking like, in order for like, who was the doctor? Was it Greg?
Yeah.
For one thing, you gotta go to regular college, so that's 4 years. You gotta go to medical school, I think, is another 4 years. So like, the way he looked, like he was already like some well-established doctor. Like that would take like at least 12 years to even get remotely to that point. You know, it just seemed like timeline-wise, 12 years or 14 years didn't feel, maybe just because, you know, for me and maybe my generation, time goes by quicker, maybe because of technology and internet. Yeah. I don't know, but for me it seemed like a little bit fast. But again, maybe in the 80s it was different because they didn't have, you know, the internet to look at all day long and just waste your time on. So they actually, you know, went out and did things, you know, because they could too, you know, because like I said, the economy was better and there wasn't such a thing as called COVID-19 and a fascist kind of president and all that stuff going on. But anyway, sorry, always got to get political somehow, but which probably alienates like 75% of our audience. But yeah, you're stuck with me, so
it's okay, Matt. I mean, Sesame.
Sesame.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so what do we got going on here in this movie, Matt?
You know, everyone's going on with their, you know, their different lives. You know, Mike and God, what's their name? Carol. I hardly ever really watched it, Brady Bunch, so I'm not. Yeah, Mike and Carol still got their jobs going on. They're, you know, they're empty nesters. They got cool exercise bikes that they gave to each other for Christmas. Each each of them decides to do a surprise vacation for the other, because they have like a joint savings account, that's just for vacations. Which again, back in the 80s, you probably would be able to actually do, actually have a special account that's just for vacations, like not just a savings account, but like accounts specific towards certain things. A concept that most people don't know anymore. Anyway, so Mike wanted to surprise Carol with a trip to Japan, because she always wanted to go to Japan. But then Carol decided to book a secret trip to Greece, and they both went to the same travel agency. But Mike had gotten there first because when Carol went to book hers, there wasn't any money left in the account, and then they
which
both,
really makes no sense, by the way.
It doesn't, but they both realized that they both realized that they were there, and then it's like, oh, that's so cute, haha. But then they decided, well, because I forgot her name, the maid,
Alice. So earlier, before this happened, Alice came to stay with them because she was having problems with Sam, the butcher, her husband. He was cheating on her with a younger woman.
Yay!
Which I'm like, isn't that a little serious for the sitcom movie? Just like,
the movie was a lot like deeper than the show was. Yeah. So
I mean, if you think that is eventually for the show, we should probably cover the pilot episode of The Brady's.
Oh God!
Which was
I never heard of that.
What's that?
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it was a follow-up to this, and it was very dramatic television, hour-long television series that ran for one season.
They're all grown up now, and they got their own problems for their own generation. And,
people at the time referred to it as Brady something because it was very serious, like 30-something.
Brady something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, so we've got Alice comes to stay. Both of the the spouses tell Alice about their planned trips, and she's just like, "Oh no, what do I do?" Sort of stuff. She can't tell them. They also tell like all the kids, and of course nobody's telling each other that wait. Mom's planning a trip. Dad's planning a trip, because they're, good kids.
They're loyal. Yeah, they're loyal to their parents. They're not going to ruin the surprise, for the other parent.
So,
you raised them right.
Yes. And, it was a good story. Of a lovely lady.
Yeah. It was, yeah. I tell you what, I periodically go through like a phase where like I try to get into the Brady Bunch because for some reason I get this idea in my head that like it's a show that I'm supposed to like it's like an obligation to like the Brady Bunch for something. It's just like a standard I set for myself. Like nobody is telling me that I have to like the Brady Bunch. It's like my own standard. So like I can never get past the pilot ever. Like it's just so bad. Like it's like 2 minutes, 10 minutes into it, I'm like I have like an edge. I'm like I gotta turn this off. I can't take it. Like it's just such a terrible episode. Like
you do not have to like the Brady Bunch. Just letting you know.
I know that, but for some reason in my mind, a few years ago, like 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, literally on a Saturday, it was like 2 a.m, and I was like, staying up way too late. Like I should have gone to bed at like 10, and like I just put on Hulu and got the idea I'm gonna watch the Brady Bunch, and like I couldn't take it. And, like I tried to do it the next day or like next weekend or whatever, and it's like could never get past the first, not even through the first episode, not past it. And
I will tell you
got
that
it.
the Brady Bunch movie and a Very Brady sequel
Well, those are different.
are much better because they're
Yeah,
parodies.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not. They're meant to make fun of. Yeah, yeah. Those are pretty cool. Rob Lowe was in the second one, I think. And was it Rob Lowe or was it no?
No, Rob Lowe wasn't in it.
It was that other dude from Evil, right? Was it him?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. All right.
yeah. Anyways, so back to the plot of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
First off, before we get any further, Matt, what did you think of the movie?
It was okay.
Yeah, it's about how I feel.
It wasn't terrible. I wasn't really thrilled with it, but it was better than the show. So, I was okay with it for a 1988 made-for-television movie. Could have been a lot worse, especially during that year or whatever. A lot of bad television. During that.
Yeah, I mean, this was the time too. Like at this time, like a lot of television shows were doing these reunion movies and shit. It was like all over the place. I mean, now we've got all these. Like it seemed to have another wave recently where we had a bunch of reboots, like Fuller House and all that shit. So it's like yeah. So but anyways, we've got so they decide that instead of going to Greece or Japan, that they're going to fly in all of their family, all of the the kids and the grandchildren and the in-laws and all that shit.
God, that's like a lot of money. That's like 17 plane tickets, round trip. So
I think going to Greece or Japan would have been a lot cheaper.
I don't even think they would have enough money to even pay for there's no way they had that, because like when Carol went to book the trip to Greece, there was only like $8 left in their account. So like there's no way, whatever, that's fine. That's TV convenience. But
see, I mean, and it's funny too when the Brady's, the follow up to this happens, they all seem to live in the same town again.
So yeah. So we're doing that thing. We're doing the Saved by the Bell thing where, everybody just happened to move to Bayside, California from Indiana. Just got in the bus and just moved,
That was different. That was more like they just didn't care.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
So anyways, we've got all the Brady kids are in their own lives facing different problems. That might keep them from enjoying the holidays,
Yep.
Greg's nurse wife, Nora, Greg is a doctor, decides that she wants to spend Christmas with her family instead of with his family. So they agree at first, first they were thinking of just going over to her parents, but then eventually she comes up with the conclusion, you can take the kid and go to, your parents. And I'll go, spend time with my family. Peter is romantically involved with his boss, Valerie, and is in an inferior position. And he's got this like self-confidence thing because of societal norms where a man must earn more money than the woman.
Yeah. Keep in mind, it's 1988, which, like when we're younger and stuff, we like to.
Yeah, but I mean, this is actually kind of, the fact that they address this is actually almost kind of woke for the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sure that people were writing TV Guide or whatever, complaining about that,
I mean woke in the original sense of the word, where it was actually meant to be a good word.
Yeah, but like 1988 was like over 30 years ago. So like, and we're still having issues like that now. So like a lot of people tend to think at least back then, that like the 1960s was just like this sort of like era that just broke everything free and stuff like that, but really didn't, because like even 20 years later, there are still people like especially if you watch like old commercials like I do for like nostalgia reasons.
Yeah.
Like when feeling particularly down on myself and want to retreat to like the past when I actually felt happy. Sorry, I'm having a bad week. So, you know, like I've noticed that like a lot of the commercials are about like, you know, like the woman's like doing the laundry or like, or vacuuming. Like it's like always like the woman's job to do like cleaning or cooking as well. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
Even in the 80s when so-called everything was liberated, you know, stuff like that. So, because unfortunately things take a long time to change because people are like super stubborn about stuff. So
yeah,
that woke, you know, part of the episode or whatever, or the movie, you know, that they addressed that, like, hey man, like, okay, your girlfriend's your boss, like, all right, big deal. Shut up.
Exactly. There's probably more of a, you know, HR problem there than anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I think the problem is that you're dating your boss, and she's dating someone that's under her. Like,
Yeah.
like that's a big deal.
So the next issue we have is Bobby, the youngest boy, has decided to drop out of graduate school to become a race car driver, but has not told his parents about this.
And he dropped out of a whole year.
Yeah.
Before this, so he's been doing this, lying to them for a time.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I would have assumed, and maybe not, but I would have assumed that, you know, they would have helped pay for his education. So wouldn't they have known? That
Yeah,
he's not
like
taking
where's this
you know
money
what I mean?
going that we're paying? Maybe, or unless he got a scholarship or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
you know?
maybe they weren't paying, or maybe they were.
Yeah.
Because he was going for his master's, so maybe they helped pay for the like bachelor's or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, for a whole year he didn't tell them he was racing cars. You know, I could sort of tell something was going on because like everyone else was like wearing suits and stuff. Like when they were talking on the phone, he's sitting there eating like last night's Chinese food for breakfast, and you know, stuff like that, or like a pizza box. You know, like I was like, okay, he's living kind of a bachelor type of life here, you know.
And so then we have Marsha, the oldest daughter, whose husband, basically she has no issues. It's that her husband, Wally, was fired from his job at a toy company where he was a salesperson.
I hate this part of the story so much. I hate the fact that Marsha is married. Okay, well, just keep going because I got a lot to say about Wally. So,
okay. Then we have Jan, who is having issues with Philip, her husband. And so they're, you know, possibly breaking up, living apart and whatnot. Then Cindy, who's been fighting for her independence since she is the youngest and still gets treated like the baby of the family. She is currently a college undergraduate, which makes no sense to me because her and Bobby are supposed to be the same age, and he's in graduate school.
Yeah,
but she's
exactly.
Anyway. So
yeah.
And she's in an issue similar to Bobby there too, where she's lying to the parents.
Yeah.
And she had plans. She had actually had plans to go skiing with her roommates, but basically was told by her parents that she had to come home for the holidays. You know, not really given a choice.
Like, yep, you're doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
and like we said before, Alice is even dealing with the fact that Sam has left her for another woman.
Yep. Sam the Butcher.
Yeah.
Sam the Butcher's butchered his relationship or marriage or whatever.
Yes.
Yep.
Matt, you're such a cut up.
Yep. Oh god, I hate all the meat puns that they made about it. Oh god, it makes me so mad. Okay, you keep going because I'm gonna derail if I keep.
Do you want to actually take a break here, Matt, and then we'll come back and talk about the rest of the plot?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back, folks.
What is Gen X? What is the silent generation? What do generations have in common? Hi, I'm Trish the Dish from the Gen X Voice podcast, and I invite you to listen to conversations I have with folks from different generations, backgrounds, beliefs, and experiences in an attempt to see what connects rather than divides us. Even though Gen X has been called slackers, Karens, or not mentioned at all in some cases, we are the bridge generation, so I feel compelled to do my part to destroy ageism by bringing all these voices together. And, as a bonus, each guest gets to answer some 80s questions at the end of each show. So download and listen to Gen X Voice today on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And let's see how much we have in common after all.
Hi, this is Catherine, host of a new fashion podcast, The Real Fashion School Dropout. Join me as I interview guests every week in the fashion and beauty space, and we gossip on all things fashion and beauty, and even get into some personal stories of their journey in the industry. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Hope to see you there.
So, Matt, I was thinking about becoming a race car driver. Do you think that's a good idea?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, I don't even have a license right now, so I'm trying to see. You don't think that'd be a good idea?
I mean, you have to do that first, but then you can, like... I don't know how you get involved in something like that. You just try out? I mean, like... don't know if you already need a car, like a race car to begin with? Or
you probably do need a car to be a race car driver.
Well, I don't know if you have to use your personal car to try out, or if you just go to like a track and they like let you,
I was just wondering if I could like race the cars on foot, like I could race them and then.
No,
you
couldn't do that. No.
All right.
If I hit you, it might be like a hazard thing too.
Yeah, that's true. They could hit me. What if I wear like a big orange suit so they see me?
No. Well, because some of the cars are orange, so that would be bad. And
yeah. What if I wear like a suit with a bunch of lights on it?
That might work.
Okay, just check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll stick to podcasting and whatnot. The because I'm just as good as that as I can be as a race car driver. Anyway, though each child is deciding ends up deciding to spend the holiday, they end up having all this crap going on. You got the kids there, and the one you got Marsha's son picking on Greg's son for no reason whatsoever.
Because he's shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because that kid is actually recast in The Brady's by Jonathan Taylor Thomas. From Home Improvement. Anyway, so...
wow.
Before he was on Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we also have this other subplot going on where, so Carol is now a real estate agent, and Mike, of course, is an architect, as he, was in the original. And there's this guy, Mr. Roberts, who is in charge of this building site for this new building that I guess Carol sold the land and Mike's the architect for it. And Mike is insisting that things, be made safely.
It seems like a conflict of interest right there, though.
Yeah,
she sold the land, and then her husband got the job as architect. It seems a little,
does seem kind of weird.
Right off the bat, I was like, this is not good.
So this Roberts guy, he wants to cut corners. It'll still fall within code, I guess, but Mike thinks that it's going to be dangerous to the building. And then eventually Mike walks off the project because he doesn't feel safe, and he wishes Mr. Roberts luck, and Mr. Roberts is finding another architect or whatever.
Yeah, because Mike, has actual principles, that he holds on to, whereas this other guy's filthy capitalist piece of shit. So we're gonna see more of how that unfolds in the movie, but
yeah, I didn't see this coming a mile away by any means.
Of course not. No. And he's trying to get her to influence Mike, to change his position or whatever.
Yeah, trying to take away business from her and stuff.
Yep.
Take away one of her biggest clients or what, which is, I guess, his company or whatever. So, anyways, the whole family gathers. We have, some issues where, basically, Cindy and Nora, Cindy and Valerie, I should say, the girlfriend of Peter, are in a room together, and they're talking about things at night, and they realize that, Cindy basically gives good advice and says, Valerie, why don't you just ask Peter to marry you,
Yeah.
And then Cindy, comes to the conclusion that, it's like, I'm a grown-up, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. I'm a big kid now. And
I'm a big kid now. Yeah.
And then she so that's going on. Peter and Bobby are talking, and Peter basically tells Bobby, it's like, I want to marry her, but she makes more money than me, blah, 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 and, all this other bullshit. And Bobby basically just says, she's great, why don't you fucking marry her, you dumbass? And then Bobby tells Peter that he's a race car driver, and that he's, hasn't told, mom and dad. And that's, he basically says, you got to tell them, blah, blah, blah. So then, all those things are worked out, like they always are in a Brady Bunch type thing, At the worst problem in the world, and it's solved by the end of the credits.
Yep.
So
I wonder why they're so happy, and it all works out every time. Yep.
So we have that going on. We got the kids picking on each other, blah blah blah. We got a situation where Wally, Mike, and I think it ends up being Peter and Bobby too. They all end up eating the dessert that Alice made for them, even though she's not their maid. But
where she's falling into old habits.
Yeah, throughout the thing, they keep having this running joke. Like, she keeps trying to, wait on the kids and do everything and blah, blah, blah. And Carol and Mike are like, you're not our maid, you're our guest. Blah, blah, And then yet half the freaking movie, she's wearing her maid's outfit.
I know. I hate to say it, but she was so annoying in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she was like that in the show. I don't remember, but her fake crying bullshit and oh god, I hated it. I know that's what they wanted. That's what they were going for, but I just thought it was stupid. But
very over the top.
They end up eating it all. Okay, well, that was for dessert. Thanks, guys. But hope it was good, because other people could have had some of that too. But hey, whatever.
It's okay,
Can I put Well, could I get to Wally in a second, or I'm like chomping at
I
the
was
bit.
just about to bring up Wally here.
Okay.
So, Wally and Marcia's kid, Mickey, tells Grandpa that that Wally lost his job, basically. And so then we have a situation later where Wally and Mike and Mickey are all jogging for some reason. And they happen to jog by this Mr. Prescott who owns a toy company.
Oh, wow.
And basically, says, hey, Wally's a toy salesman, blah, 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 and then Mr. Prescott's like, can I steal him away from Tyler Toys?
Yeah. Again, how it all seems to work out, Oh, man.
Wasn't a setup at all, man.
He got fired, and then 2 days later, he's got an interview for a whole new job. Yep, all works out in the Brady Bunch land.
Yeah.
Yep. So, fuck you.
So what do you want to say about Wally here?
Okay, I'm sorry. I hate Wally so much. Okay, so and this is maybe I'm gonna come off like Joe Rogan here for a second, but I hate it in movies and TV shows where fathers are completely weak, and I don't mean they show emotion. They're weak. I mean when they act like a little kid themselves. I'm like, you're a father. You're acting like a kid here to your kids. If you're gonna act like that, at least act that way, not around them. He's sitting there pacing and having them trying to console him, and oh god, something about that. I'm thinking to myself, Marcia, you were the oldest girl in the group. You were, quote, the prettiest. You married this guy? What the fuck? You could have picked anyone. You picked this guy. Did he go through a massive personality change after you met and went out and got married? And he finally revealed who he was, and he tricked you the whole time. What's going on with this?
There is a short-lived series that gives us the early days of their marriage.
Oh, I definitely want to see that. No, not really.
Yeah, it's called The Brady Brides. It lasted one season as well.
Oh my god!
It came before this. Yeah, it was. There was a movie actually. It was called the Brady, the Brady girls get married or some bullshit like that.
God, what a cash cow they're trying.
Then they tried to turn that into a TV series a year or so later.
Jesus Christ!
And it just starred Jan, and the premise of that one, it was kind of like The Odd Couple. You had you had Wally and Philip, and Jan and Marcia all living in the same house.
Okay,
and Alice was their neighbor.
Oh my god! Yeah, all right, that's so believable.
Yeah,
we're all living in the same fucking house. Really? Shut
up.
And
then you have Philip, who's kind of the Felix Unger type person, and then Wally, who is the Oscar Madison sort of kind of character. And so you have that. It was basically The Odd Couple, but with wives added in.
And Brady Bunch bullshit. Yeah. There's a scene that angered me so much last night when I was watching this. So and like I said, I've been on edge for all week, so it's probably just an extension of that. But he's sitting there pacing around the bedroom, where they're all sleeping, and he's like, I can't sleep because I'm thinking about losing my job, and then I start grinding my teeth, and then when I start grinding my teeth, I worry about going to the dentist, and then when I go to the dentist, I worry about the bill he's going to send me, and I'm worried that the bill's going to be too much, but then I can't pay the bill because I don't have a job, which means I start grinding my teeth, and it's you are saying all this in front of your wife and children. Quit being so fucking weak. I understand. It's okay to show emotions. It's okay to cry. All that stuff's fine. But when you're acting anyway, sorry.
He is acting.
We're gonna have a tiny. What's that?
See, regardless of his sex, regardless of whether he's male or female, he's an adult and he's acting like a fucking child.
That's what gets me, yeah. And I guess it does get me a little bit when it's a guy acting that way. Maybe I have a 1% conservative in me or something like that. And it's just that thing, like, dude, like, shut up, like, you know, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, the thing is I think it would be just as annoying if it was Marsha that was going through this too. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's just fucking.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I don't know. He's got a certain look about him too. Like his hair's all like just disheveled, and I don't know.
I mean, I like Jerry Hauser as an actor normally, but you know, this role is kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's a funny guy. He had like. He did all the, if you ever watched MASH, anytime there was like a speaker announcement on that show, that was him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's kinda cool.
So yeah. But anyways, he, so he ends up getting a job working for Prescott, I guess. So, then we have the big Christmas dinner. Where we basically have we have Bobby telling at one point, because Mike's giving like a speech about, you know, what's going on, and eventually, you know, like basically saying, you know, we can't be afraid to, you know, speak up or blah blah blah, you know, giving a good old, you know, typical holiday speech sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I guess at one point before this, Carol did help Philip and Jan get back together. Like, totally didn't really. She just basically said, you know, what's going on, you know.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So at the dinner though, we get the thing where Cindy says how she didn't like being told to come. Bobby tells him about being a race car driver. That one was like the one. It's funny. That was the one they took the most serious, which I guess makes sense because he's been lying for a whole fucking year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Peter tells, you know, starts talking about things, and then eventually Peter and Valerie propose to each other at the exact same time after they're given a countdown to 3 from Carol. Yeah.
Yep.
So, we get all the kids doing that, and then Nora arrives and surprises Greg. Which I got questions about. They don't really tell you where Greg lives. They don't tell you, you know, where Nora's family is. How was she able to get there so fucking fast?
Maybe they live just down the street or something. I have no idea.
But if that's the case, why couldn't they just, you know, spend part of the day with Nora's family, part of the day with the Bradys? Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's TV convenience.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be.
So, anyways, then we get a phone call. Guess what happens, Matt?
Oh, I didn't see this coming a mile away, or 10 miles away, or 100 miles away.
Or 1,000.
Yeah.
10,000. 1,000,000 miles.
Yep.
So Mike learns that the ruthless businessman that he, you know, designed a building for has cut corners now, resulting in the building collapsing and trapping 2 security guards inside.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
No. My thing is the building wasn't completely finished. Why were there security? Okay, anyways. So,
yeah, exactly. What was that?
What were they doing inside the... Okay, anyways, so, so Mike comes, he gets called because the other, the new architect is out of town. And, he comes to help. and he basically tells Roberts what to do to, fix things. He gets the 2 security guards out, but he gets trapped himself after an aftershock.
Yep.
And then he's saved by a song.
Yep, because he was trapped and he couldn't lift the weight. I like too how they're basically just gonna like let him stay there.
Yeah,
like we're not gonna help him. We're just gonna let him stay here because we didn't get the approval. It's like, wow, so you're just like gonna let someone die in the building.
So basically, what ends up happening is Cindy reminds Carol of the time in the original series where she sang "O Come All Ye Faithful" after she lost her voice.
Yep.
And so she starts singing it, and everybody else starts singing along. And that song saves Mike's life.
It gives him the strength to, it gives him the strength to lift that, rebar or whatever, is holding him down.
Yeah.
And, because, that's what songs do. They actually give you muscle strength and, able to like lift. So like, yeah, he gets out and stuff, I guess, or whatever. Yay. And then I've been such in a weird headspace lately. Like I was like sitting there half expecting, like, you're just going to let him die and it's going to end that way. but I was seriously wondering if they're just going to end it like a really bad note. But
it's a very Brady Christmas ends with Mike Brady dying.
but I think I'm half right because he probably inhaled a lot of asbestos, so he probably had like lifetime complications after that. So, good job, Mr. Capitalist construction owner guy.
In real life, a few years later, the actor died from complications of AIDS. So,
yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
So he got it from the building. Yeah. He inhaled AIDS. Wow.
No.
Well, of course, 1988, people probably believe that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like Ronald Reagan probably, don't get too close to a gay person. Because he didn't talk like that, but like suddenly I've got a different accent.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Robert Reed was a closeted gay man for most of his life. So
I told you that's what it was.
Yeah, it was. He did have a marriage and had a daughter, but he was, he was a gay man, but he was like America's TV dad, it's like kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, because he has a good job and he's the man of the household, and he's got a good job and he's the man of the household, and he's got a good job and he's the man of the household. Wait,
what is he?
He's got a good job and he's the man of the household. Sorry, I'm like so loopy today.
But anyways, so Mike ends up getting out because "O Come All Ye Faithful," saved his life.
You know what could have saved his life more?
What?
It's like, what's that?
What's that?
Like the 6 gallons of tears that I cried today from watching the movie Hachi, A Dog's Tale, that could have lubricated, some of the stuff, and he'd be able to slip through the wood beams or whatever that he was trapped under, But
at least Mike didn't die in this, like the dog in that. So, or not the dog. I mean, the guy in that.
Of course, the guy was like 12 years old. But like,
the guy. I mean, the guy in the movie, I should say.
Well, they both died, just like 12 years apart. But
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. Perfect. Perfect storm we got brewing here. So we got COVID coming back. Not that it ever left, but now we got the new variant. Christmas is coming up. The economy sucks. There's a so-called labor shortage, which really isn't, because Kellogg's fired 1,400 workers going on strike, and then they hired a bunch of scabs. They go, wait, I thought there was a labor shortage. You can't get anyone to work. No one wants to work. All of a sudden, it's over, Mike. It miraculously it ended all at once. 1,400 people. They're all available, Mike, but there's a shortage. But until that moment, and then suddenly there's no shortage anymore. It's a miracle. Just like Mike, escaping the building miracle.
Yes.
This is another miracle. we got, the shorter days. We had a bunch of tornadoes in Kentucky yesterday. We had a huge windstorm here in Toledo. Power went out in a lot of places.
And Peacock canceled AP Bio, and Netflix canceled Cowboy Bebop. So that pissed me off. So
it's a lot of good stuff going on at once. So it's like, if I were Mike Brady, what I would have done is I would have just taken like one of the 2x4s that was in there and just like hit the guy in the head with it, like just as hard as he could, and like end the movie right then and there. Like
they should have ended the movie with Mike becoming like a killer, and he kills Mr. Roberts.
Yes, and they're all singing "Oh Come All You Faithful" as it's going on, and then like Bobby, Peter, and Greg come in and help him. Yeah. They help hide the body. They put it in the building.
Wally comes in and he's like, well, actually, the reason I lost my job is actually I'm in the mafia, and
wow,
I don't need no fucking job at Prescott Toys. I know where to hide the body. Anyway, so
the whole anxiety thing was just like a cover for him.
He like turns into this smooth guy, and all of a sudden his hair's slicked back and stuff too. It's weird.
Yeah, It's like the was it Caesar Karzai? No, what was his name? The Usual Suspects. What was his name?
Kaiser Soze. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Kaiser Soze effect,
Yeah. So
the guy's limping and he's stuttering his words. When he comes out, suddenly he has no limp anymore.
And then Bobby gets his race car and he runs over the body a few times to make sure he's dead. And
yeah, that would have been a good. I would have actually paid more attention if that was the ending.
Yes, but we do have some another miracle happen here.
Oh yeah, what's that?
So they all get back home for their dinner and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Santa Claus shows up.
Oh, that's right, Santa Claus.
And it's actually Sam.
Or do you mean Salmon Claus? As in, his name is Sam, but he's a butcher, and they probably have fish there as well, so it's a salmon?
Sure.
The butcher probably mainly specialized like beef and pork products, but they probably have some seafood as well.
And
so.
And instead of being played by the original actor, for some reason, Sam is now played by Louis Arquette. Why they couldn't get the original actor, I don't know. He was still alive at the time.
Maybe they didn't pay him any money, just like they weren't going to pay
Susan Olsen.
Maybe they're going to pay him in meat products.
Yeah.
Hey, you played a butcher on TV, so we'll give you
some ground chuck and some some liver and onions and
meat club of the month or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. And whatever, I don't know if that's even such a thing.
Subscription to that, what is it, like Idaho Meats or Iowa, whatever that was, yeah.
Yeah, the Trump steaks.
Trump steaks. That was probably big at that time, Because this is back in the 80s when Trump was, still just a businessman and didn't destroy our country. And
it was a certifiably important. Anyway, yeah.
He had yet to become a reality TV star or destroy our country. And,
yeah. But,
so anyways,
Mike Brady, yeah.
Sam, comes back and he's just like, what, I nobody beats you, Alice, we got to get back together and blah, blah, blah. And, yeah. And by the way, Louis Arquette, you may know from Waiting for Guffman, as well as being the dad to David Arquette and Rosanna Arquette and Patricia Arquette. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
so,
and another another thing about Louis Arquette, he was also the son of Cliff Arquette, who was a comedic actor before that, who is from Toledo, Ohio. So, yeah,
that's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So this scene, I didn't like this scene because this proved to me that feminism was not quite ascendant yet, because she just totally just takes him back. And like everyone else is like happy, like, yay, they're back together. It's like, bitch, like he was cheating on her with a younger woman. It's like, oh, Alice is not hot enough for me anymore. Now I need to like go to like some 30-something or probably 40-something, to be honest, because they're probably like in the 50s. But whatever, a younger, a fresher piece of meat, if you will, because he's a butcher and everything's gonna be butcher. Like he even told her, he's like, oh, you're prime rib and she's chopped liver. It's like, okay, I get it. You're a butcher. Does everything you have to say have to be? I mean, like, okay, so like I used to work at a print shop. So, like, when I came home, everything I say, like, oh, you're like a 36 by 24, what's, like, come on, quit being an idiot. But it's Sam for you, and he is an idiot, so.
It's like, when LeBron James gets home, he's, like, saying to his wife, he's like, our marriage is like a slam dunk.
God, I know. Yeah, can you imagine? That would just be so corny. Like, I would like murder him if he did that. Like, I don't even know where he lives. It's like I don't even care about basketball. I would kill him just for saying that. Like, all of his fans would be devastated. They ask, "What's the motivation? Do you like a different team?" Or right? Nope. Don't even care about basketball. And by don't care, I mean I don't care. I don't have animosity towards it. I don't have love for it. It's indifferent to me, but I will murder this guy for saying his marriage is a slam dunk. And because I hate the Tampa. No, I'm just kidding.
He plays for the Lakers, though, so.
He does? I thought exactly. I don't even know. I know he's playing for the Tampa Bay Heat for a while.
That's the Miami Heat, by the way, too.
So exactly. I can't even get the teams right. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Heat. Yeah. That sounds right. Really? Yeah, in the Cleveland Bulls, in the Detroit Cavs, in the LA 76ers. Sure. That's as much as I know about basketball.
Yeah, I don't watch basketball, but I know the names of the teams, unfortunately.
Well, the thing is, I used to know a little bit about basketball, but it was only because of playing basketball video games.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that Charles Barkley used to be on the Philadelphia 76ers, and it was only because one of the basketball games you could play different years of different teams if you wanted to, and so like I chose the 76ers and I chose like a certain year, and then he was on the roster, so I knew just from that. But I otherwise I would have had like no idea whatsoever.
I always think of Charles Barkley with the Phoenix Suns.
That was later on. Yeah, but he started out, I think.
That's when I met him one time. I met him at a golf thing.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So he was golfing in a local charity golf thing. So, anyways, but regardless, anyways, the other day, speaking of basketball, I know this is totally off topic, but I was at a Walmart and they had one of those arcade 1-up NBA Jam things on display, and so I played a little bit of basketball for a few minutes.
I love NBA Jam. I used to, I used to play that. I used to rent that like every other weekend.
Yeah, it was fun on that arcade because it's the arcade version and stuff, and it was really fun. Anyway, so I want to get one of those. Again, I am going to remind fans that if you would like to buy me an arcade 1-up, I really want one.
I want one too, but buy us one that's hackable so we can put multiple games on it, so we don't have to buy like a different game.
They're all hackable. We can figure it out.
Oh, they are?
So,
okay.
Yeah, I watch YouTube. So
I'm not going to buy like 6 of these.
No,
like,
I just want one. Like, I mean, I don't even care which one it is, honestly, as long as it's one that I can, put multiple games on. So, but
yeah,
regardless, do you want to take a quick break here, Matt, and we'll come back and talk about just talk about the rest of this.
Yeah,
we'll be right back.
What is Gen X? What is the silent generation? What do generations have in common? Hi, I'm Trish the Dish from the Gen X Voice podcast, and I invite you to listen to conversations I have with folks from different generations, backgrounds, beliefs, and experiences in an attempt to see what connects rather than divides us. Even though Gen X has been called slackers, Karens, or not mentioned at all in some cases, we are the bridge generation, so I feel compelled to do my part to destroy ageism by bringing all these voices together. And, as a bonus, each guest gets to answer some 80s questions at the end of each show. So download and listen to Gen X Voice today on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And let's see how much we have in common after all.
Hi, this is Catherine, host of a new fashion podcast, The Real Fashion School Dropout. Join me as I interview guests every week in the fashion and beauty space, and we gossip on all things fashion and beauty, and even get into some personal stories of their journey in the industry. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Hope to see you there.
And we are back. And here's the story of a man named Mike who was unable to rhyme the word Mike. Wait.
Mike the Pike? No. Mike the Spike? I don't know.
So, anyways, here's the story of a man named Matthew who wore a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyways. So, so here's a review from back in 2004 on the Internet Movie Database of this wonderful film. Written by Five Fids. Could only watch it once. I was a big fan of the Brady Bunch show when it was on, and I was young and naive. I just, as most who watched it, knew it wasn't realistic. We knew it wasn't how most families interact, etc. But we liked it just the same. When I watched this in 1988, I was disappointed. I was very well done. It was very well done, not I. It was very well done, but I guess the Brady Bunch, as many shows, was good only in its time. So when reunions, updates are done, it does not have much impact. At least that's how I felt about this one. The best part was hearing a Brady use the word hell. Christopher Knight as Peter tells one of his siblings, I don't recall which, that's a hell of a way to greet your brother. Or something to that effect. Way to go, Peter. That added some much-needed realism to a show that even the most adherent fan will concede lacked realism.
Okay.
If I see it in my listings during the holiday season, I may check it out again, but I did not care for this first time, so I doubt that will change.
Okay. For me, it's the exact opposite. To me, the show was like totally silly and it just unwatchable for the most part. This movie, it wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah. Here's a 10 out of 10, Matt. Written back in 1990. Written back in 1999. By Luke 31. I don't know if that's a Bible thing. Anyway, so
yeah,
it was written on December 23rd of 1999. The best television reunion movie of all time. This is an excellent reunion movie. It has a great storyline, some wonderful writing, and situations that alternate between comedy and drama. No other reunion movie has ever stayed more true to the original character conceptions while allowing them to grow. An excellent movie. Part of my Christmas tradition.
Okay, I mean, they like what they like, so...
Yeah.
You know. It's fine.
Here's another one from 1999. What? Written by Fonzie 2.
What?
Okay, someone tell me that this isn't for real. Poor dad gets trapped in a construction accident, and they still sing Christmas carols without him? Someone should beat the writers of this script into a bloody pulp. I like the Brady Bunch, but this is degrading.
Whoa. See? We're not the only ones that were thinking of violence.
Yes, I know.
When it came to that scene. Totally different victims of violence in mind, but
yes.
But
here's another one that's just written earlier this year, back in January, by Robert Norris. A very Brady huge miss.
Ooh.
See what they did there? It's a 1 out of 10.
Yep.
Corny or cheesy. The original series had a particular charm as it worked primarily as a sitcom comedy, but this reunion movie fails on every level. It's not funny. It's not interesting. It's not well written enough to be dramatic or moving. And in the end, like the Brady Variety Hour, it comes off sad and pathetic.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt the need to read it in that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, anyways, there's pretty much the reviews for this are like all over the place. What would you recommend anybody watch this movie, Matt? Like, who do you think this is for?
Like nostalgia people, maybe. Maybe they'd get something out of it. I mean, that's probably it. I mean, like people who like the Brady Bunch, I guess, maybe they can get a kick out of it. People like us who are reviewing movies, maybe, like I've noticed that like a lot of people have reviewed some of like the same weird movies as shows we reviewed at. I honestly think the only traction that these shows are getting are people reviewing
exactly
for podcasts. Like I don't think anyone else is watching them.
The only reason they exist is for podcasts and YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Like, I bet you a nostalgia critic probably reviewed this at some point. I don't know, but
yeah,
probably. So yeah, those kind of people. But like, if you're like looking for like a Christmas movie, I would like stick with like Christmas Vacation, which is like great movie, still holds up 30-something years later, 32 years later. Christmas with the Cranks, that's a good one. With
It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful, yeah. I mean, I don't like it personally, but yeah, people might like that one.
I love that movie.
I don't know. I every time I watch it, I still get pissed off at that guy's fucking uncle, idiot. It's got a bunch of cats.
Uncle Billy is
ruined the guy's life. Yeah, but like so every time I see that, I get kind of like that guy who does like the Onion reviews. He just starts going off on him the whole time.
Yeah.
Can I just circle back to
yeah, Uncle Billy? But yeah. So. My feelings on this is, my takeaway from this movie is that if you have problems in your life, you need parents like Carol and Mike. If your dad is trapped in a building, the only way to save him is by singing A Christmas Carol.
Yeah. So, like, if you ever run into a situation where someone's trapped inside of a building,
I'm wondering if it works.
Gather up like 100 people.
I wonder if it works for other things, because I'm just curious. Like, has anybody in the hospitals, like when people are dying of COVID, tried singing "O Come All Ye Faithful"?
Yeah. That's terrible.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Or is it seasonal? Like, will it work in other seasons? Like, can you sing it in springtime, for example, or only at Christmas time?
Yeah.
Like. Because COVID's going to be around for the next 47,000 years, right? So, like, we got, figure this stuff out,
I mean, I'm okay. So I'm going to go on the record here, Matt. Now, Joe Rogan has recommended ivermectin.
Okay, yeah, I know.
I recommend "O Come All Ye Faithful" to solve any of your problems.
Yeah, so you've gone beyond taking anti-parasite drugs to spiritual healing. You don't need to take any drugs at all. Whether it's a free COVID vaccine or very expensive animal dewormer medication.
Yes.
From feed stores. Now you just need spiritual food, to get rid of the COVID virus.
I do have a feeling that "O Come All Ye Faithful" will help more than ivermectin, but I don't know.
It probably will. But
Yeah.
but no, I mean Joe Rogan, he studies martial arts, and he used to host the show where people ate bugs. So, he knows more than 99% of the doctors and scientists of the world. Of course he does. I mean, why wouldn't he know?
And I've directed 2 horror comedies and host a cheesy movie and sitcom podcast. So listen to me.
No, don't listen to anyone who's not qualified.
Oh, but I will tell you, for 3 easy payments of $9.99, I will sing "I'll Come "O Come All Ye Faithful" for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
and they'll throw in some ivermectin, as like a treat or whatever. I've noticed that they're not really talking about ivermectin anymore very much. Now they moved on to a new so-called therapy, which now it's so ivermectin was like the thing for like a 2 months maybe, and then these people, they move on to things very quickly. They get bored very easily, so they never really learn how to focus and be disciplined. They just kind of move on to what's new now. Horse dewormer. Oh no, humans can use it too. Okay, yeah, for what though? Humans can use it for what? Tell me what humans can use it for.
Not for curing COVID.
Exactly. So don't use it. Aspirin's for human use. Okay. Does it treat COVID-19? Dr. Pepper is, no pun intended, is for human consumption. Oh, okay. So is Dr. Pepper made? Well, yes, technically Dr. Pepper was made by an actual doctor. Okay. I'm undercutting myself here, but whatever. He wasn't treating COVID-19 because it didn't exist in the 1800s. But, and even if it did,
actually, it was created by somebody who wasn't a doctor, who named it after his doctor friend.
Oh, that's right. He named it after his. Never mind. He named it after his. Okay, yeah, this woman he liked, whose father was a doctor, he named it after her dad for some reason. Okay, anyway, that's like a weird thing right there. Like, I got a huge crush on this girl, so I'm going to name a product after her dad. It's just like, what?
Well, that's what you do.
That's what you do.
But honestly, if you would like Matt and I to sing a Christmas carol of any kind, not to cure any kind of diseases, because we're completely joking here. On TikTok, let us know. We'll do it for the right amount of money.
Yeah,
we will. We do have a TikTok.
It has to be enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I put up a couple things recently on TikTok, just some random videos. Old school videos from us, just for the hell of it. I've got part of A Matter of Fact on there with Matt.
Oh my god!
And
wow,
I got it up to the point where it cut me off because of time. And then
yeah, they're shorter videos.
Yeah. But yeah, check those out, folks. Let us know what you want us to do. If you want more episodes of A Matter of Fact, which I really like, let us know, and we can definitely do that sometime, because I really like Matt's monologues.
God.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyways, folks, that's all we really have to say about A Very Brady Christmas. Don't sing your troubles away, folks.
Nope.
I mean, it might be good for it might be good for your mental health to sing. I mean, that's fine. But
maybe.
Yeah, not for, curing COVID or saving somebody that's trapped in a building. Or saving somebody that's trapped in a building that has COVID. Just letting you know that one
Wow.
doesn't cancel out the other. And,
Yeah.
just, be good to each other, folks. Check out our Patreon. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Go to all2real2.com for everything else. Check out our TikTok. Let us know what you want us to do on that, Whether it's, lip sync to Billie Eilish or something, we could do that. Maybe. Let us know what will get people to put their eyes on things. And, wear a mask, folks. We still need to. Wear a condom. And have yourself a merry little Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.